Hello everyone, welcome back to Fox Ridge Philately. It's a beautiful late summer day here on the east coast of Canada. The sun has been shining all day. The temperature has just been a comfortable, I think around 18, 20 degrees. And had a good day so far and was able to catch lunch at a local winery that my daughter serves at. And so we went with a couple of friends, had a beautiful lunch and a glass of wine there, and enjoyed the view and the conversation. And this afternoon I was picking away at just a few things here in my office on stamps, and then I thought you might want to see perhaps some of my Iceland collection. And Iceland's been on my mind lately. As you may know if you've watched previous episodes, I think I'd mentioned it, that we were lucky, my partner and I were lucky enough to travel to Iceland back in the spring. It is early September now. I have no idea the date, to be honest with you. It's Wednesday, September, 5th. But May 18th to June 3rd, we traveled the country of Iceland, rented a car, just the two of us on an itinerary, and had an incredible trip. And I've been collecting Iceland stamps for a while now, and yeah, the Davo albums, which I know I mentioned in a previous episode, I really like. I find they're beautifully done, well presented, and this is the first of 3 Davo albums I have on Iceland. In my mind, I'm thinking someday I would have them all completed, but we know how that goes. That it can be difficult to get some of the issues based on availability or based on price. But in theory, you could with Iceland, because Iceland no longer produces stamps. They feel they have enough stamps now, and they can go with what they have, and what they produced the last handful of years are stamps that they can continue to use going forward. I did pick up a few stamps when we were in Iceland, just for, of course, the fun of it, and check out a couple of local post offices and say that I purchased some stamps there from the post offices. So the Davo album is here. I'm trying to open this carefully without catching the camera. And we just go to the first page. I'm not going to go through the whole album on this episode, but just give you a sense of what I do have. And early on, you can see there's lots of spaces that are missing still. But these would be my first Iceland stamps that I have in the collection, the earliest ones. 1876 issues and 1882 to 1892. These are all, actually that 3 kroner might be, I'm not sure if that's unused or not. The others are all used. I'm trying to be careful with it here. It's hinged, but yeah, that might be an unused. And then I have down below, get your seat down there in the edge, 1900. Zoom in a little, 1902 to 1903. Yeah, lots of empty spaces. These are, based on catalog prices, a little more valuable. Some are quite valuable, including a couple here early on. Catalog values are quite high on those. And the 02 and 04 issues. Just trying to be a little bit careful, but give you a sense of what I have for early issues of Iceland. 07 to 08, and then the 1911. And I like Iceland stamps in general, so not just the country, but I find their stamps are well done, well designed. Even the early ones, the colors down here of the 1911 issue, just the basic strong silhouette and colors used throughout are, to me, quite attractive. There you are. And starting to get a little more completion a little farther on here. 1915 to 18 up top, and the 1920 to 22 issue. So I have all but a handful of or just a few of those, I should say. You can see that, and that's King Christian X. And Iceland was a Danish territory for many years. before gaining its independence. And there's still a strong Danish connection. Of course, we all know a little bit about the history, I'm sure, of Iceland and its Norse and Viking connections. And overprints of 1921-22, and then the 1925 issues down here. Again, just really attractive stamps. Missing several from the 1930 set. And I got a couple of unused and I think 3 used from the 1930 set. I'm going to move a little quicker here as I don't want to take up too much time with this episode, just to give you a sense of Iceland and Icelandic stamps. University here in Reykjavik, 1938. And the geyser stamps in Iceland is pronounced geyser, not geyser, G-E-Y. We did visit the geyser, the famous geyser of Iceland. It was okay. I mean, yeah, okay, we did it. Very touristy, very people-y. So not really my thing in that sense. Okay, it went off. The fish stamps are kind of fun. I said it was going to go faster, but I'm not really doing that, am I? But there is a 1956 set. I'm just going to fix something over here on the side. There's a 1956 set with waterfalls on it I wanted to show you. Down to 1941, because they're being in Iceland, of course, you're going to visit some waterfalls, and we did check out some of the waterfalls that are appearing on the stamps. I did not do extreme philately. I did not take any stamps with me. I know some would see that as a missed opportunity, but that wasn't really something I was looking to do. And the Hekla Eruption 1948 stamps. Almost a completed page here, except for a couple up top. But the 50 to 54 series is, again, a really nice series. Pretty good value there as well. Those are mint stamps. Again, nice simple colors. '50 to '51. Getting almost to where I wanted to just stop and talk a little bit more. 53 up top. And just missing the extra one here in 1956, the semi-postal. Yeah, semi-postals can be pricey. Okay, so I've completed page here, 1956. Keep that page from flipping back. And the setup here, 1956 set. So that set was issued in April 6, 1956. And it's a completed set, unused, mint. Catalog value is around $66. We know how catalog values work. That doesn't mean you're never going to get that price from them. But really attractive set. Carefully move my camera a little bit, and stamp here at Skogafoss. The falls are called Skogafoss, and we stayed at a hotel literally with this in the backyard, and I'll show you a couple of pictures that I took when we were there. And this is Gullfoss, which we saw, I think it was the following day. And Godafoss up in the north, near the Mývatn district, and Dettifoss, which is also in the northern. So these 4 waterfalls we all stopped at and checked out. People-y, as I said, the waterfalls are very, very popular. And yeah, I'll certainly check out waterfalls when we're near them. but there are lots of other things I'm always interested in checking out too. I'm going to stop there, and excuse me for a moment while I close that up, move that aside, and just zoom back out, show you this little book here that I created from some of the photos that I took. May, June 2024, Iceland. That's Kirkjufell on the front. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you may recognize that. A lot of Game of Thrones scenes were shot in Iceland, of course Ireland as well. Many folks know that, but Iceland being such an otherworldly destination in terms of its geography and topography, it attracts a lot of fantasy, sci-fi types of filming. So I'll try to skip ahead. Okay, we'll try this again. Hopefully that didn't cause too much of a hiccup in the taping. We'll see when I piece that together. West Fjords. Actually, before I go to the other waterfalls, I'll show you our favorite waterfall. That's one of the hotels we stayed at. This one. This is not on any of the stamps. It's in the West Fjords, called Dynjandi Foss. Whenever you hear the term foss or the word foss in Icelandic, it means waterfall. So Dynjandi Foss. And that's me. So my partner Suzanne took this photo and gives you a sense of the scale of the waterfalls. Absolutely massive. But let's skip ahead. Yeah, so here's Godafoss. Godafoss is one of the stamps that I showed you. And I zoomed in a little bit, or I guess I cropped it a little bit, I should say, to get the crowds out of it. My goodness, there are a lot of people here. Over on the left, just off of the image here, there are hordes of people here on a lookout, checking out the falls, and there are lots over on this side, kind of where we were standing too. So try to keep them out of the image. The main road is just literally right off here, right off roadside is Godafoss. And not sure if I've got Dedifoss in here or not. Doesn't look like I do. Oh, I do. Okay. So here's Dedifoss. And then I think it was 2 days after. Yeah, I think it was 2 days after we visited Dedifoss. Happened to catch the rainbow here too. And this being late May, there's still ice around. You can see pockets of snow as well. And again, many folks around. I just cropped them out. And we'll skip farther ahead. Yeah, so here's Skogafoss, the one I mentioned a few minutes back, where we stayed with a hotel with this really in the back, in the backyard practically of the hotel. Is just like maybe a 2-minute walk, not even that. And you see a person down here walking. I like to have that person there to give that sense of scale of these massive waterfalls, Skogafoss. And that's also Skogafoss from a slightly different angle. And there's a walking path that goes up the side here with stairs and a little platform up top to look out. And it's another foss, waterfall, but that's not Gullfoss. This one you can walk behind. You can see us standing there behind. That's myself, and that's my partner there, checking out the waterfall. And there's the last one, Gullfoss. Gullfoss, very, very powerful waterfall. They all are powerful waterfalls. This one I thought was especially impressive. And images, of course, don't always give it a true sense of what it is like to stand there and the amount of spray that comes up off of that. But I thought you might enjoy that, to see photographs as well as the stamps and get a sense of the connection between the two. Extreme philately, yeah, I could have stood there with my stamp, but I really didn't want to travel with my stamps up to Iceland. Just wanted to enjoy the scenery. And, well, the stamps get a little wet there, because you better make sure you've got some waterproof clothing if you're visiting these waterfalls in Iceland. So just a quick tour around some of the early Icelandic stamps in my collection, as well as some of the experience we had when we visited there. If you ever get a chance, highly recommend going to Iceland. It is an incredible place. Literally jaw-droppingly stunning and beautiful around every turn in the road. You have to stop constantly to check it out. It is a fabulous and incredible place. Hope you're all doing well, and hope you're getting a chance to work with your stamps too. Take good care, and we'll talk to you soon.